All right, so today, this is a stationary engine that I've had for probably several years 4, 5, 6 years. Yeah, something like that. Anyhow, it's been at my other house, in my other building. We've been living here for 2 years, so I know it hasn't been started at least 2 years. It's been sitting for probably a year or two before that. So we're looking at this thing been sitting about 4 years in my other building. Been in the dry, and I was gonna get it out and start it up, and I said, let me just see if it's got spark. And I pulled one of the wires off, and I held it close to the metal and turned it over with the hand crank. No spark. So evidently from it sitting, hopefully the only thing that's happened is the points have gotten just dirty where they're not opening it, not making contact to charge the primary side of the coil. Hopefully that's all it is. Hopefully my Magneto hasn't died, that lost its magnetic polarity. So, you've seen a video where I picked this generator up not long ago. And we'll get to that. That's going to be a little bit of a project. I really want to hear this thing run again. So today we're going to pull, this is a Hercules, by the way. And I think it's like 20 something or 30 something cubic inches. It's a 4-cylinder, it's a Flathead. Pretty basic. What its duty was, it's got a big centrifugal water pump behind it. You would hook a rather large hose to it, and it would pump lots of water. And does not have electric start. It's all crank. So let's do a video of seeing why we don't have spark. If we can get spark, then I drained the fuel down when I turned it off the last time. So hopefully the carburetor will survive its sitting even though there was no gas in it. We'll hope for the best. This is an auxiliary water tank that I set up, and I've fabbed up a little water pump off of a washing machine just to circulate water. So once it's running, it can sit here as a stationary engine and run and not overheat. But anyways, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just see if we can get spark. So let's do that real quick. To make this a lot easier to crank, to check, and all that. It's a good thing I put this tank right there that I can't take off. Right here, that's didn't even think about that when I did that. Should have put it on the other side, but I don't know. Anyways, I might have to get in there and probably clean these. But I'm just gonna pull all 4 of the spark plugs out. This makes it a lot easier to deal with. I'm gonna mark this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so anyway, so that way we can see, we don't get them mixed up. Probably won't, but just, I don't know. Seems like a good idea to do. Let's see here. I have to get us a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of air and shoot on that and blow some dirt off and go in there. This one plug is so tight to this little snout there at the top. It's really, I'm gonna have to use a line wrench because the socket wouldn't go down the side of it. And I used to open it, it wasn't budging. Okay, well we got movement. That's a good thing. Probably can use my open wrench now. We'll get all 4 of these out. That way we can turn the motor easily because it does. Fortunately, it has really good compression. But we got a nice little workbench that's going to be in the way when I go to work on the Magneto. That's not the plug breaking, that's my ratchet. It's got like a loose tooth. It catches a little bit. It's an old wore out ratchet. I've used it to death. Eventually it's going to slip and break my knuckle, but we'll use it till it does that, and then when it does, then we'll make something out of it. We won't just throw it in the woods. We'll do something out of it. Let's see here. So I guess what I could do real quick is just put them all 4 in there and just see if it's just one that's not sparking or if it's all. Then it's probably all. I'll guarantee you I'm going to have to probably clean the coil. Not the coil, but the points. All right, here we go. We're just going to see if we can my washers decided to stay put. All right, so now we can see, stick this. This thing used to be like some kind of, evidently some kind of housing it was in. And I didn't make this car, it came like this when I got it, but it was fabbed up to where you can slide it. So yeah, we've got issues. So hopefully it's just the contacts on the points are dirty, and not a dead coil or a dead it's got to have magnetism for it to make that work. So let's get that cover off. I'll do that off camera because it's going to take me a little bit, and see if we can get in there. Now that I've put this big honking tank on the side. All right, here we go. So this is like, I messed with some Magnetos here and there. So new to me on this one with this Hercules engine. But what turns the rotor button is a gear driven right here. And evidently it times up like that. And it came off, so I might have to remember to put that back right. I'm going to have to look at that. I need my flashlight. You can't see in there, but I'm about to give a flashlight. But anyhow, it's obviously going to only go on the shaft one way. But let me run back in the house because everything is all over the place. So I've got to get my flashlight so I can look in there and see if I can't. What's it? World's great. So there's our contacts. Our points are down in. Oh, of course, my camera's gonna get way out of focus, but if I get down in there, so somewhere right in there. I think this down here at the bottom, but we'll need more light so we can see. So I did a little test to see what kind of magnetism I still have in here. Oh, hit my camera. Check this out right here. That's a good sign right here that I have. I can feel it grabbing my screwdriver. So that's good. And the points down here, it's tough to see because it's getting out of focus. But the points down here at the very bottom, they do look corroded. Kind of doing a poor job pointing it out. It's tight down in here. All right there. I got to get those opened up. And I've got a points cleaning file, so I may do that. But emery cloth is so good for this. Let me get some stuff together and we'll do that. So we're going to give this a go. Can I reach in there and not block the camera? So you can see where I'm working on. I'll go right in here. Sometimes emery cloth is a superior product here. Let's see if we can. But we're going to try this. See if we can make this happen. See what kind of, yeah, we can't, oh, the light's not helping us any, but in the camera shot with, you can't see, I've got some material cleaned off of there. I've got a small nozzle. I'm gonna take and open these up. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on that too. I'm talking into my water tank, but I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on that, and not on the points, but on the part that clicks on, and then see if that. I got it cleaned up a little bit, and we'll see what happens there. I may have to work on that a little bit more. But that's the basics behind that. You don't want to take so much off. You have to readjust everything. We can just kind of clean this up a little bit and make it work. That's the plan there. so you heard the wife. I got to run there and eat some dinner. But what you seen there was I had to go in there and clean it a little bit better. I ended up having to bust out my trusty emery cloth and my party clips from when I used to be a teenager. Anyhow, using them for what you're supposed to. Got that fine eyed with some fine sandpaper or emery cloth, and now you can see we've got. You'll see a first attempt where it kind of sparked a little bit. The second one was pretty consistent every time. So my next feed, after I go and eat some dinner, come back out here and see if I can get that distributor cap back on, lined up with that slot. And then we'll see if we've got spark on our spark plugs. And if so, we can throw some fuel to this thing and see if we can't get it to take off and run, guys. Stick around. Should I record this part of me fumbling with this thing for a half an hour? I didn't get my other light so I can see down in there. This should be the part I don't put on the camera, is me struggling to get that thing back lined up. And as far as I know, look at this thing a little bit better here. Yeah, okay. There's a short side and there's a long side. I can see that. In other words, I need to turn this thing 180 degrees to that. I think, yeah, there's one slot's larger than the other. Oh wow, oh there, I got it on there. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I noticed that. But yeah, that way you don't have it 180 degrees out of time. Being the fact that we've seen it spark really well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put all screws back in instead of just doing the 3 and then cranking it and messing with the 3rd screw, 4th screw later. I think it's going to run. So let me get the screws back in, then we'll check for spark at the spark plugs. I guess I could check for spark at the spark plugs with just 2 screws in it. Let's just do that. That'd probably be the smart thing to do. So let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not, but all of them are hitting. I got all the. I'm trying to hold the camera and turn this at the same time, but it looks like we've got spark there. And now, as long as I didn't move that adjustment, it stayed, the gears, they stayed in time. I think I've got the slots right, so I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to recheck for spark one more time. Then we're going to put a little fuel in it, hit the drain that's on the bowl. It's got a little bowl drain at the very bottom. Let me turn the flashlight on a little bit. Right there, and just let a little bit of fuel drain down, so if there's any dirt or sediment, it won't get sucked in the jets. Even though I ran it and I drained it, so hopefully that kept it from boogering up the carburetor for the past few years that it sat. Alrighty, let's see. I looked in here before. It's been a while. What does it even look like? Bring all the fuel out. Well, that's doable. My favorite gas can that's got this stupid button on it, but I've kind of mastered this thing. Let's see here. Whoa. Real safe. All right, that should be plenty to do what we need to do. Take my air hose and probably blow that off a little bit. Down here at the bottom of the carburetor, there should be a valve. I think I gotta turn this. This is okay. That is on, I think, right there. Okay. And then let's see if we get any gas to come out of this. Let's see here. All right. Well, unless I've got a dirt dauber's nest in there.
I don't know what position this thing needs to be. It should be some dumping out of there. All right, next mystery. Might have to take and pull this line off and blow that out and see if we can get fuel to come out. All right, let's get this off of here. I got my little nozzle right here. Let's see what happens here. Now that clamp's like no good. I'll leave that one be. Somebody's over tightened that clamp, so I may have to get fuel to come out. Let's see here. Okay, we'll cut the camera because this is going to be a little more difficult. I might have to work with that. All right, yeah, I got it off of there. We got fuel now. Like most of these little valves do, they'll never turn off all the way. But I just need to get that back on. I'm gonna have to find another clamp too, because that other one is not tight. You gotta be careful when you have fuel laying around when you're cranking motors, because anything can happen. Let's see if we get. And then oh yeah, there we go. That's good. All right, let's close this off. See if the needle valve's gonna do anything. It's been a long time. Let that sit for a minute to see if any gas drips out of there. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. Not good. All right, let's do the carb tap. Sometimes you get lucky. Yeah, that's a brass punch there. I was trying to be gentle to the old Zenith, which is what we're running here. Well, we got plenty of fuel. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if we can get this thing to hit a little bit. Got fuel, got plenty of it there. Let's see here. If I remember right, that there is the throttle. It doesn't have a governor on it, so we're just gonna have to control it with that and see what happens. Try to do something. Well, last time I cranked that, I just kicked it. Because it's kind of hard to turn. Let's see here. Give it the old choker root. Could be flooded though. All right, let's see. That's a good start. All right, here we go. One more time. My dinner. All right. Choke back off. We're still in the camera shot. Okay, here we go. It's not bad. May have to kill switch is a little, it shocked me. But we need to throw a little water in it now, and so we can run it a little bit longer. But there you go. You got to witness this thing. It's been sitting for about 5 or 6 years, something. So we don't want to run it hot, so let's get some water in it. So here's my little archaic little pump out of a washing machine. It moves plenty of coolant. So that'll keep us cool right there. So now we can crank this thing up and then let it run a little bit and see how it does.